So during this time, I am waiting on the lady from my doctor's office to get back in contact with me to see has she found a doctor that can run whatever tests that the doctor wanted them to run. And I'm going 1 week, no call, 2 weeks, no call, 3 weeks, no call. And I'm like, I call. Hey, I've been waiting on y'all to get in contact with me. I just wanted to make sure, you know, um, everything was good. Did you find a doctor that accept my insurance so we can get whatever test done? And it's like, no, ma'am, we're really swamped right now. We haven't found a doctor as of yet, but we will call and let you know. Okay, then, bye. Click. And, she never really called back. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, I understand, I'm not the doctor's only patient. I understand, I get that. But it's like, I'm in a time crunch. I know I'm in a time crunch because the longer it goes, the less chance you have of getting back to normal. So, also during this time, the big company that's behind my short-term, long-term disability for the job, they start applying for Social Security disability for me. And, you know, I'm submitting all the paperwork and everything to them. And, everything checks out. Now, I was denied first go around. It seems like they always deny you first go around. And when the company reapplied for me, um, I had to do a doctor's appointment. And I go to the doctor's appointment, and the doctor's like, and she was disabled herself. I was surprised. But the doctor's like, okay, so let me just check you out. She's doing a physical examination and everything. And she's like, what exactly is wrong with you? I was like, well, I felt the pop and tear and I haven't been able to work since. I can barely walk and blue blase, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, so this is the leg and whatever. And she's checking the leg out. And she's like, you can't lift, you can't move it. She was like, lift it this way, couldn't do it. Bend it that way, couldn't do it. Keep it straight, it hurts being straight. Okay. And then she reaches down, she tells me to sit up. She reaches down, she lifts up my leg, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna let it go. Don't let it fall back. And I was like, I can't control it. I can't control it. Like, I don't have any control over it. And she lifts it up and she lets it go. And I was like, you fucking idiot. I ain't said that to her, but I was thinking it because she let it go and it hit the back of the doggone, medical table, examination table that I was on. And that shit hurt like hell. And I wanted to smack her ass. I told you I couldn't control it. And then she was like, okay, examination over. Like, she knew she had did something wrong because I told you I couldn't control it and you lift it up and let it go just to see was I lying. That shit hurt. So she was like, so she went and sat down. She was like, so your doctor didn't do an EMG? And I was like, EMG, what is that? She was like, a nerve conduction test. They didn't do no EMG. And I was like, my doctor said something about getting the test done, but I had forgot the name. I don't know exactly what test. It was probably the one that you're mentioning now. She was like, I can't believe they didn't do an EMG. And I'm like, okay. So from what I'm hearing from her, I need to have an EMG done. So when I left her office, like, I'm on the phone, I'm like, what doctor does EMG? and it came up a neurologist. So I went online to my insurance company and I'm looking under the doctors and I'm looking for a neurologist and I found one. I went to that neurologist and I was like, I need an EMG done because my leg is doing this, it won't do that. It's a lot of pain and I can't walk and whatever. And he's like, okay, well, I only have this test done on certain days in the office. So he was like, it's going to be a minute because the guy was just here and he's only here like every other week. So I was like, okay, cool. So scheduled a date for me to come back to get the EMG test done. And then after that, I had to wait for the results. So get it done, come back to get the results. And, this is September in 2017. And he's like, Miss Morgan, okay, so your test came back normal. And I'm about to start crying because I'm like, how is it normal when so much feels so wrong in this leg? Like, what the hell? He was like, don't break down because I know what this is. And I was like, you do? Like, I was surprised, like, what is it? What is it? Tell me, tell me. And he's like, this, you're not crazy. Because I explained to him what I've been going through and how nobody can find out what's going on with me and the symptoms that I was experiencing. He's like, you're not crazy. And everything you're going through is very much true. And he's like, this is called chronic regional pain syndrome. And I was like, really? And he gave me a minute to like take that in. He was like, CRPS is what it goes by. And he's like, some people experience different things, but the symptoms at different things at different times, but the symptoms are all the same. You're not crazy. This is what's going on. And he was like, I want you to take this time and I want you to go research. And you read up everything you can about this because this is not going to be easy. This is not easy at all. He was like, this is going to be tough. And he was like, I want you to do physical therapy, pool therapy, not regular physical therapy, pool therapy. And I told him, I'm kind of scared of the water. And he was like, why is that? And I was like, because, I was hurting so bad one day, I got in the bathtub. And I noticed that because I have a real deep soaking bathtub. And one night I got in the tub and I noticed that my leg was too weak to even fight the current in the bathtub. And then I guess it got real tired and all of a sudden it started floating. I didn't even have the strength and to even put my left leg underneath the water. It was floating on top of the water like a buoy. And it was pulling me toward the front of the tub. And I'm like, I'm trying to stay in the back of the tub, but it just made me uncomfortable. And I'm like, I really don't feel comfortable getting in a pool at this point because of that. I'm scared I may drown. And he was like, okay, that sounds kind of reasonable, but we need to figure out something. And he's like, this is going to be tough for you. And I was like, okay. I got in my car. I left and I got in my car. And I sent the text message to everybody about what it was. I found a website for it. And I sent the website to everybody. I sent it to my mom, I think my aunt, and my brother, and my husband. You know what? Nobody read that doggone message. Because they still act like they don't know what's going on with me. And I'm like, no matter how much information I try to give them, it's like, it's just always, it seems like it's always ignored. Now, after that appointment, he was like, I need you to follow up with pain management. I'm going to refer you to pain management. And I was like, okay. So I'm waiting on him to the doctor's office, the neurologist doctor's office, to give me a call. 1 week go by, 2 week go by, 3, 4, and I'm like, hey, you said that you was going to refer me to pain management. And the nurse was like, hold on. And they went and asked the doctor. And he was like, oh, you're going to have to find your own pain management doctor. And I'm like I'm like, that's not how a referral works. A referral means you got somebody in mind that you want me to go see. And then, they either call me to set up an appointment or you give me the number to them and I call them to set up the appointment. Here it is, 4 or 5 weeks later, and we're in October, November now, and the year is almost over with. So it's like, ain't no sense because, these specialist appointments, they fill up fast. And it's like they're months apart. So I'm like, my insurance is about to change because, we already had open enrollment. And my insurance is about to change again. And anybody that was on the 2018 ACA, there was only one insurance company that was available. So that year, 2018, was a very, very bad year. And I haven't given this year a name yet. I'm going to have to think of a name for this year. But since my insurance was changing, I was like, well, there's no sense in making a doctor's appointment to go see a pain management specialist to only see them one time and then have to switch over. That's just nonsense. So I might as well just wait till my insurance change over and start there. And that's exactly what I did. So the next post I will make will be year 3. And year 3 is a doozy. So stay tuned.